Well, certainly, Leanne. Look, all indications are that this morning, one of the other people who were inside the house when Senzo Meyiwa was killed is likely to be the new witness on the stand this morning. Remember, all of last week, the defense had basically tried to poke holes in the testimony of the state's second witness who was on the stand, who was inside the house, Mthokozisi Thwala. You'd recall was also there when the football star Senzo Meyiwa was shot and killed. The defense advocate for accused number 5, you'd recall, poked several holes in Thwala's testimony because he struggled basically to recall specific details of what took place on that day. He maintained right until the end that the two intruders had entered the Khumalo family home and that one of them who had dreadlocks and a firearm had demanded cash and cell phones in what he described as isiZulu Sotho. But under cross-examination, he was pressed on what he exactly meant by those two languages, or to give clarity on exactly whether it was isiZulu or Sesotho, and what it means from what we could deduce, basically, Leanne, is that, he could not say verbatim which language was used. Thwala also, battled to recall what the gun looked like, further stating, that he couldn't tell the difference between a toy gun and a real firearm. And what was quite crucial there, and would have been, or was to be expected by the defense, Mshololo then introduced an affidavit from Meyiwa's brother-in-law, Mlungisi Edward Hlophe. Hlophe's affidavit basically stated that he had called Tumelo Madlala on the night in question because he wanted to get an understanding of what happened. So we understand through that affidavit that Madlala had told him over the telephone that Zandi Khumalo and her then boyfriend Longwe Thwala, who is the son of musician Chiko Thwala, were having a fight and that Meyiwa tried to intervene. However, Thwala is refuting all these claims, saying there was never a fight, and how is it also that Hlophe had only deposed of this affidavit in 2019? This is now 5 years after Meyiwa was shot. So even though, Thwala also managed to flee, we heard that he jumped over the fence, a concrete wall, into the neighbor's yard. He had his cell phone with him. Lots of questions about why he did not log a distress call to police once he was safely out of there, because, he said his battery was low, but also, why he didn't approach any neighbors to call for help after this incident had taken place. Instead, he decided to go back into the house where Kelly Khumalo's mother had informed him that the intruders had so-called left, and that's where Thwala had found Senzo Meyiwa bleeding on the floor and basically covered his wound with a towel. So this morning we're expecting that new witness to take the stand, highly likely to be someone also that was inside the house when Senzo Meyiwa was killed. I also understand that it is unlikely that that witness will use this entrance coming into the court. There might be some other security measures that have been put in place. We'll have more details once the court gets underway, but we're back live with more details at 9 o'clock on the dot here on the SABC News Channel. Let's take a short break here on Morning Live. When we get back, we'll continue with more news.